Cayo Perico, the tropical island with luscious greens, beautiful flowers, friendly wildlife, and magnificent beaches. Home to many a great beach party, sprung by our generous host, Juan El Rubio Strickler. Welcome him, stunning, joyous, but also deadly. At least to those who explore beyond the party facade of the madman himself. You see, Cayo Perico is also the home of a major drugs production empire, led by Juan Strickler from the southern compound. And this is where we, the players, come in. We are taxed by Miguel Madrazo, son of Martin Madrazo, a well-known gang lord, to rob El Rubio blind. At first, this is to reclaim documents of incriminating nature to Martin Madrazo and his wife Patricia. But from the start, it is clear that Miguel Madrazo wants El Rubio ruined, or at least worn out into a non-capable state because of his own business endeavors. And well, we players are more than happy to comply with his wishes. On to the story, yeah. To set up this heist, players receive a text that promises them fun and wealth if they visit the new nightclub underneath the Diamond Casino, where they will find Miguel Madrazo and his mother Patricia lounging. When visiting, Miguel explains the situation in his manner, not really helped by his mother, telling the player they need a submarine for this heist, which obviously is a prompt to buy one since it is the only way to start the entire heist sequence. When players buy the Kosatka, as it is called, they discover it has several customization options, which by now is standard fare in GTA Online for new business and or heist properties. Yeah, quite standard. Those modifications include sonar and missile stations, a helicopter and a mini submarine, up to a total cost of around 9 million GTA dollars. This also gives players access to the new underwater cash hunt, which dishes out 75,000 GTA dollar upon completion once a day, and once a month an extra $100,000 from Rockstar. The submarine itself is drivable and is standard equipped with torpedoes. Also, for explorative players, the submarine has some resupply options spec'd out through the entire body. And of course, the control room is the location for the heist board, which controls the heist setup. Yeah, the heist. Every heist starts with an intel mission. The very first one, it will be English Dave giving players access to the island via the Kinda Music party invitations, where players will be transported to the island, meet El Rubio, and get partying. At the party, there is of course some dancing to be done, but with a little patience, players can start to do the recon by escaping the party beach. After this, the players have to follow helmsman Pavel's, the new addition to the crew, prompts on where to go and what to do until enough had been done to justify leaving. But no matter, players can always return for more recon by going to LSIA, to the tour center, if they feel the need for more intel. After all this, the player can start setting up the heist by starting up prep works. Yeah, the preps. The prep work is divided into 4 sections that revolve around necessary and optional tasks. The preps are divided into the following sections: approach vehicles, equipment, weapons loadout, and disruption. To start the heist finale, players need to complete 1 approach vehicle, 2 to 3 equipment preps, 1 weapons loadout, and by choice the disruption preps, which are completely optional. Okay, the preps. Let's start with the approach vehicles. Players can choose from 6 different approach vehicles, though they can do more vehicle preps to gain a wider approach window. They are both some of the best and worst preps in the heist, depending upon which vehicle players choose and what location the game chooses to pick it up. These vehicles are the Kosatka submarine, of course, we own it, the Alkanost high-flying jet, the Vellum propeller plane, the Stealth helicopter, the Stealth Annihilator helicopter, of course, we have to use the full name, the patrol boat, which has also a number I can't recall right now, and as last, there is the Longfin powerboat. Of all these vehicles, the Kosatka is the only one to deliver the players directly to the compound, provided they found the drainage tunnel. The Alkanost jet and the Stealth Annihilator are best for people who like stealthy infiltrations and takedowns, as well as a little sabotage by the side. Both of them require for the player to acquire a pilot, either by killing a group of loan sharks or by stealing back a prop plane for the pilot. If you pick both vehicles, you will only need to do 1 mission for the pilot, because the pilot will be the same. Just mentioning. The Longfin powerboat and the Vellum are relatively the easiest to steal, with the patrol boat having both easy and super hard missions to acquire. Again, totally depending on where the game will spawn them. Alright, on to the equipment preps. The equipment preps necessary depend upon what intel the players have uncovered on their scope out. These preps are demolition charges, safe codes, plasma cutter, fingerprint cloner, and cutting torch. The demolition charges are the least required items and can be skipped at no cost unless players want to go in with a bang. The safe code and plasma cutter are interchanging, depending upon the discovered primary target. When the primary target sits in the safe code mission is mandatory and the plasma cutter is not available. Vice versa when the primary target sits in the display case, like the tequila bottle for instance. The fingerprint cloner is essential to get access to the vault room, no matter what approach you choose, as far as I know. The cutting torch is a strict mandatory item once the drainage tunnel has been unlocked. Even if the intermission shows bolt cutters can be acquired on the island, it still is required. I believe this is a clear mistake on Rockstar's part. Unfortunately, on these prep missions, everything besides the target equipment is unobtainable, even if it would be extremely useful in the finale. But no, only the target equipment can be appropriated. Very well. On to the weapons loadout prep. Weapons are not essential, but still mandatory to start the heist. These loadouts are the Aggressor, Conspirator, Crackshot, Saboteur, and Marksman loadouts. As a side note, players will have to buy suppressors one time to be able to equip them in the heist. I received a tip that to unlock the Saboteur and Marksman loadout, you need to unload the suppressors before you start the loadout mission. Just a side note. The Aggressor loadout with its shotgun is to me the most pointless of the loadouts, since the shotguns have practically zero range and hardly touch any enemy except in extreme close range. Yeah, like I said, there was a tip, but I was unable to unlock the Saboteur and the Marksman loadout, no matter what I tried, except for unloading the suppressors, which I found out after writing this review. So anyway, for me those are rather pointless and another mistake on Rockstar's account. Because who is going to unload the suppressors once they have them? Well, maybe the ones who want to go in loud and hard. Anyway, using the Conspirator loadout will also unlock the military rifle and ammunition. And here comes a big finger at Rockstar. Why did this loadout have to be one of the hardest ever to accomplish? I really don't like that. You really have to know the trick to not get frustrated. And I get frustrated easily. Just saying. Anyway, on to the disruption preps. The disruption preps are completely optional and in my opinion only needed if you are new to the heist or if you plan to go in all gung-ho Rambo / commando style. These preps consist of a weapons disruption prep, a armor disruption prep, and a air support disruption prep. Denying El Rubio's guards their weapons is good, but not really necessary unless you expect to be spotted. The same can be said of the armor and the air support preps. One very big finger pointed at Rockstar right now. The time limit on these missions is ridiculously low. Yes, viewers, the time limit is only 10 minutes, no matter on what part of the map you start. So that's a big finger, Rockstar. And especially the eternally respawning of the helicopters is a major mistake on Rockstar designers' behalf. The island of Cayo Perico cannot house nor support over 10 at a time. Yes, that is what I think. Okay, now time to discuss the finale. So, when all the preps are done and we have what we need to start the heist, we will go into the finale setup screen. Or so first time players think. But in fact it is a last checkup screen to ensure players are happy with their choices they made and are ready to proceed. First time players and their possible accomplices will be treated to a cutscene of Miguel Madrazo rambling about sport and modern leadership, as well as some bumbling about in the sub. But after that, it is time for business, aka starting the finale. After the approach vehicle, the entry point, exit point, extraction point, aka escape point, weapons and support options, as well as day or night have been set, it is time to ready up and begin the mission. There are several points that need to be added over here. Some approaches require additional support, others don't. Okay, let's start with approaching with the Kosatka. This is, in my opinion, the easiest way. No extra support needed, as long as the players understand the meaning of stealth and silent kills. It is one of the fastest entry points and a good start as a new player. Approaching with the Alkonost. This vehicle gives you the most freedom of landing, since each player can choose to parachute to a different location for convenience. It can also cost you the heist if you are detected prematurely. But I do advise this if you like a little stealth and sneaking about. Well, approaching with the Velum. For this vehicle, you will need to hire a gun smuggler to deliver your equipment to the island, since all people landing on the runway are routinely frisked. If you don't hire a smuggler, you are sure to be shot, since the guards will detect a sudden weapon on your body, even if you didn't want to. Okay, on to approaching with the Stealth Annihilator. This is the most restrictive vehicle, since you need to locate the insertion points in the Intermission, and you have no freedom on choice apart from those very insertion points. Then again, it can deliver you very close to the compound if you want to. Okay. Approaching with the patrol boat or the power boat. Yes, I am combining those two since they work practically the same in view of approach. These two boats restrict your access points, but make that up by providing you an approach which will not alarm any boat roaming around the waters of the island. So the guards on the boat will not respond before you come close or enter the compound. Just a note, you can drive them to every point of the island accessible from the water, pick up disguises, equipment and loot if possible, and still take you to the compound. Okay, how about the compound itself? If players want to make a successful run, they need to study the map of the compound thoroughly to not get lost. There are several ways to approach this compound, most from land and one from the sea, but caution and a good aim of weapon or fist are a necessity. Another necessity is to stay calm and relaxed when hacking the fingerprint scanners that protect the vault area. And for more options at loot and or access escape points, it will be necessary to make stealth kills on guards. Beware of the minigun equipped Juggernaut. This person has its own icon on the minimap, so you will be notified. Once you have raided the main target, extra guards will arrive, so you will not be in the clear yet, even if you killed the roving guards already. There will be new roving guards. There are several ways to escape the compound and the island, and each have their pros and cons. For this review, there is no need to discuss those, since they have been shown many times by players publishing their findings on YouTube, Twitch and other platforms. But I will say this: whatever approach the player chooses, the drainage tunnel will not be an escape option. This leaves the players to escape either into the sea or move to either dock or the airport for extraction. Each has its own merits, which I'm not going to discuss. Okay, here comes the critique. Yes, this heist is playable solo, and in fact it is the only heist in GTA Online which can be done solo. So kudos to Rockstar for finally giving us the option. It is late, but I am happy they did it. Yes, this heist can be easy, and players have called it easy many times over. But, and this is why this is a critique and not a praise, it is only easy if you already have done it before. When you are new to this heist, all things are new and exciting, until you really start prepping. For new players, and especially low-level players, this heist and its prep, all its preps, can come as quite a culture shock. Especially new, low-level players must be prepared to die a whole lot in the preps and the finale, no matter what path they choose. A big critique: there is an easy option, but Rockstar have hidden it very well. There is no way to set it in the finale screen itself. That, for me, is a big no-no. Every other heist we have received in an update had an option to go easy, normal or hard. But this one, as lets the host choose the toughness only at the startup, not when starting up the finale, but at the very start, before the intel mission even begins. And that is a big no-no for me. Another minus for me is the constant Pavel monologues on the prep missions. These could have been set to one time only by Rockstar easily, but then, when did they ever do this? And another minus is the spawning of enemies once you are detected. They just keep on coming, no matter how many you kill. An island this size, as I said before, cannot sustain an endless supply of manpower like Rockstar is suggesting. Neither can it sustain over 10 combat helicopters, considering the few spots they could be stored on the island. A very big no-no for this. Another gripe, which has been a gripe for me ever since I started playing GTA Online, is the aimbotting NPCs. Rockstar still has not addressed this issue. Even today they still hit players from impossible distances with uncanny and logically impossible aim, even ducking in cover, and they still shoot straight through walls and windows where players cannot. But apart from that, yes, I do enjoy this heist when it works out right. Yes, I do go into frustrated fits if it goes bad. Yes, I have tested all approach vehicles available. Yes, I have tested all entry options apart from going in through the code-padded side entrance. these are only available if you find the pass from a random guard on the island. There is no indication which of the guards will have this pass, so I don't even bother. And yes, I have played this with multiple players and solo to test the options and the loot. No, so far I have not managed to secure the Panther statue, and I have not heard anyone say they have found or procured the Panther statue in their heist. So I do believe I have done enough to justify this review. Yeah. To conclusion. Yes, my conclusion right now. The Cayo Perico Heist is a great heist and our only solely friendly heist to a point. But it still isn't perfectly tuned. In the end, it is close but no cigar for Rockstar. But to me, it still is the best heist ever created by Rockstar. It surpasses Doomsday Heist Act 2 in my book and the Casino Heist. No problem at all. Ladies and gentlemen, this was my review. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay frosty, unlike me.